Well, I'm with Susan Saladoff, and I'm so excited because Susan is from Ashland, and she has had a big career switch, and she just finished a movie, and she has some exciting news, and so I'm going to ask a few questions. And so, Susan, how did an attorney litigator become a movie maker?
I didn't set out to become a movie maker. I set out to tell a story. I had something that I wanted to say to the general public about our civil justice system, which of course I've known for the last 25 years. And I was waiting for someone else to tell this story, and nobody did. So I just decided that I was going to tell the story. I was going to tell the truth to the American public about how they're giving up their constitutional rights to access our courts, and they don't even know they're doing it. They're voluntarily giving up their rights. And when people actually need the court system and they go to a lawyer, oftentimes they're told that the system's not there for them, and they don't understand. You know, this is a democracy, and yet we are literally waiving our rights to access the court system.
The movie is Hot Coffee. And so I know it's about the McDonald's suit, correct?
Well, that's one part of the film.
So just tell us a little bit about that part.
Sure. So the reason that the movie's called Hot Coffee is because almost everybody knows, or at least they think they know, the infamous McDonald's coffee case, the woman who spilled coffee and sued McDonald's. And what they don't know is that their perceptions of that case have been completely distorted by the media and by corporate America. Literally millions of dollars was spent in a public relations campaign using that case as the poster child for what's wrong with our court system. Mm-hmm. And most people think she was driving. Most people think that she was, you know, a young person, that she wasn't seriously injured, that she made millions of dollars. What they don't know is that this woman, Sarah Liebeck, was 79 years old. She was a passenger in a parked car. The coffee was so hot that it caused third-degree burns within 3 to 7 seconds. McDonald's knew that people couldn't drink coffee at that temperature, and they had paid out over 700 times for people who had been burned by that coffee, and yet they continued to keep it at that temperature. It was between 180 and 190 degrees.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I know I heard about that case, and I had that same opinion. It was like, oh, how could someone sue over hot coffee? You know, why wouldn't you know better? You know, so I think we're really excited about this film, and I know that a lot of people are excited about this film because Susan just got back from the Sundance Film Festival, and so tell us about that.
Well, that was amazing. I set out to make this film. I actually was only going to take a year off from my practice. I took a sabbatical for 1 year in 2009, which is what my plan was, and I was going to make a documentary. And I thought, oh, my friends and family will come to see it. But along the way, my intention always was to get this information out to the general public because I wanted to change the conversation. I wanted people to understand that they were only hearing one side of the story for 25 years and that they didn't really understand the other side of the story.
Exactly.
And so, anyway, every time I raised money, because I raised all the money for the film, every time I would raise money, people would ask me, well, where are you going with this film? What's the distribution plan? And I would say the same thing. I would say, well, we're going to get into Sundance Film Festival, and then, then we're going to go on HBO. And believe it or not, I mean, that's exactly what's happening with this film.
It's so exciting.
So making this film, in some ways, was very similar to the experiences that I had about trying cases. Mm-hmm. Instead of my clients, there are 4 characters in this film. There are 4 storylines. We begin with the McDonald's case, but we really go through 4 different ways that the American public is giving up their rights. And we use specific character-driven stories as illustrations of each of those ways. And in some ways, each of the characters was as if he or she were my client. Mm-hmm. And then the people who give expert opinions in the movie are as if they're my expert witnesses at trial. And the archival footage, we use a lot of archival footage in the film, it's as if those are my exhibits at trial.
Oh my gosh.
So in many ways, I really felt very comfortable telling the story through film. It was just a different medium for telling the story.
That's exciting.
Sundance was so much fun. But the most fun part was meeting all the other filmmakers, because these people, particularly the documentary filmmakers, they're people who have a passion
Yes.
And I mean, people, regardless of what you read, people don't make much money making documentary films. In fact, you can lose a lot of money making documentary films. People make documentary films because they have a passion for a subject and they have something to say and they want to say it in a large way, which is why I made this film. So meeting the other documentary filmmakers, they were just fabulous people. And then the other part was sitting in a movie theater with 300 people and a big screen and watching this baby, this like invention that I made, and seeing it up on the big screen, and then hearing the applause and the standing ovations, and then the Q&As at the end were incredible. No one ever really asked me many questions about the filmmaking process. Everyone was so interested in the topic that they wanted to talk a lot about the substance of the film.
Wow.
And the reviews were beyond. I mean, when I got the Hollywood Reporter was our first review. And the first word was entertaining. I mean, this is a movie about tort reform, and the word is entertaining. It's sort of like, oh, wow.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, because, you know, when you go to a place like Sundance, it's the Hollywood reporters, it's the movie reporters that are reporting it. It's not like the legal people that I'm used to.
Sure.
And to have the public sort of get it.
Oh, boy.
And you know, I say to people all the time, you know, I'm not trying to change people's minds, I just want to open people's minds, and it looks like this film is really doing that. And many people come out of the film afterwards and they say they're angry, but they're angry to do something. Mm-hmm. You know, they get riled up, like, oh my God, I thought I was smart, I thought I understood, you know, our justice system, and I didn't have a clue.
Wow.
And so
that's got to be so, you just make you feel so good.
Yeah. And we're actually, HBO bought our broadcast rights, so we're going to be airing on HBO this summer, the HBO summer documentary series. And they are behind a grassroots campaign around this film, so we're going to be doing a big event in Washington, D.C., and hopefully invite all the members of Congress and lobbyists on this issue of our civil justice system, and try to, you know, have people like change the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Susan moved from Washington, D.C. to Ashland, Oregon, and I'm always interested to find out why people move to Ashland, and I'd like to know why you like Ashland or love Ashland.
I moved to Ashland in 1998 because I wanted a better quality of life. I was living in the big city in Washington, D.C. I had 2 small children, and I knew that there was a better place to live where I could raise my kids. I love Ashland. I've been here 13 years, and I can't really imagine living anywhere else. I love it because it's a community. I mean, it's a community of people who actually really like each other, and you know, we look each other in the eye when we talk to each other, and we take time to like get to know each other. And I mean, I feel like it's a big hug all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, we do hug each other. I mean, that's the thing that's amazing about Ashland. Whenever I'm anywhere else and I say hello to people, I greet them, I always hug them, and they get really freaked out. But that's what we do in Ashland. We hug each other, and it's just a wonderful. I feel like I'm on vacation when I come home, because I travel all over the country, and whenever I come home, I can take just a big breath and say, I'm home.
That's awesome.